Welcome to DBFT, guys. My name is Like. We are now 3-2. It was a tough loss today. Tough loss to say the least. That's crazy. I can't say I didn't expect that because it's the Cowboys, man. We're the Cowboys, man. It's just a continuous thing. It seems to be when, especially with Dak under the helm, for just not stepping up to the opportunity, not living up to the opportunity. You know what I mean? It's just a constant thing throughout Dak's career, man. Um, we got to come to grips with it, okay? We got to come to grips with it. It is what it is. I mean, it's 9 years into his career, whatever it is, into his career now, and we've been seeing the same thing over and over, repetitively. You know what I mean? Um, that's not great. That's not great. You would expect, what Purdy was able to do out there, 17 of 24. You would expect that from America's team, America's team's quarterback, but apparently not. Um, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I said it on my last podcast last week. Dak is not the type of guy that's gonna take a team that's not stacked into the promised land. He's not gonna do that. The team needs to be stacked. That being said, our team is stacked. That being said, our team is stacked. Just littered with weapons, man. If you look at Cooks, if you look at Lamb, Gallup is a very, very, very good receiver. When you get the ball in his hands, man, you got to get the ball in his hands though. If you're eating up the ball, going down, and taking the sack instead of getting rid of the ball, um, then you're unable to deliver a ball to Gallup or to even Lamb, which Lamb I saw getting doubled a few times. I don't know if he was doubled throughout the game. That's something that need to be reviewed, but um, by the people that review it online and stuff, on here on YouTube. But that being said, man, the West Coast or the Texas Coast offense now, as we're calling it, since we're running it, um, that's one step drop, two step drop. Get the ball out quick. 3-step drop, whatever. Get the ball out quick. It's 2-3 seconds and the ball's out. The 49ers did everything to disrupt that timing. The question is that you gotta kind of wonder, man. There's more than enough tape on Purdy now. This offense, the way Purdy runs it. I'm talking about the 49ers offense, of course. There's more than enough tape on them to, it's easier said than done, but to know what to do to disrupt it. You know what I mean? You would have thought that we would have answers. You would have thought that this was going to be a low-scoring game, just like the past two times that we faced each other. Especially last year when it was 19-12 or whatever it was in the playoff game. You would expect it to be that type of game, a grimy, grind it out, sort of whoever has the ball in the last possession wins type game. But wasn't the case at all, man. Wasn't the case at all. And a big part has to do with a big reason that has to do with is that we had no answers for their offense, man. We didn't disrupt them. We didn't break the timing, disrupt the timing at all. We just stank out there, guys. We just stunk it up, man. The 49ers did everything to disrupt our offense with all our weapons. And a major part of that is you're realizing it, man. You think of Ayuk. You think of Debo. You think of even Mason, their backup running back. You think of Kittle. Um, they're just littered. Williams, the left tackle, their left tackle, number 71. They're just littered with the 49ers are littered with physicalness, man. Physicalness. You know, smack you in the mouth and you ain't gonna answer back because you can't talk anymore. We're gonna knock you out the game. You saw all our injuries, man. Turpin had that great touchdown and looked like, oh, we might finally have, we might finally be using him the way he's meant to be used. Then the play later, he rolls his ankle out of bounds. And by the way, out of bounds. The 49ers, it seems, were allowed to do little things like that as far as giving us an extra shove, giving us a push in the back where you saw LVE run into Parsons and they both got injured on the play. LVE got knocked out for the game. You saw that off of a hit in the back. They didn't call that. Certain things, they called our helmet to helmet when they had just done it to CD Lamb a couple plays earlier. When a couple plays after that or a couple plays before, there was one of our guys on the floor, and when they hit the floor, someone dives on top of him and hits him on the head. You know what I mean? Like they're home. I understand home field advantage, okay, but damn, you gotta call the game equal. You know what I mean? If they're allowed to be physical, we should be allowed to be physical. That's all I'm saying. But not too much on that because it wasn't penalties that decided this game. It was just physicalness, man. The 49ers are legit. Brock Purdy, man. Brock Purdy. I am voting him most likely to be like Tom Brady. Most likely to be like Tom Brady. Like if this is a yearbook or something, man. Like honestly, because what you see is, and he said it too, in an interview. They were saying it during the game that he knows he doesn't have the biggest arm in the NFL. He knows he doesn't have the best legs in the NFL to get away from rushes and stuff like that. But what he does know is football and the scheme and how to run the offense correctly, on point, and pinpoint accuracy. That's what he does know. And you see it, bro. So, like, that's exactly how Tom Brady was, man. Um, get it out quick, get it out accurately, understanding what the defense is doing at all times. Purdy does not seem to get confused, man. We did hit him a couple times, and I was like, oh, okay, there it goes. There it goes. We're going to start. Nah, not really. We didn't start anything, man. Like, I really thought when we hit him earlier in the game, maybe the first quarter, the second quarter, something like that. I was like, okay, here it goes. And nah, the dude is just cooler than the other side of the pillow, man. He's nothing like Dak. Okay, Dak gets confused, man. He looks out there like a deer in headlights, and he's a veteran. That shouldn't be happening. Yes, it's the 49ers defense, okay? But we are the Dallas Cowboys defense as well. We are one of the top defenses in the NFL, and see, a big reason why we gave up so many points, guys, and people are gonna beat up our defense right away and say, oh, we thought they were legit. They're not really legit. But it's our offense that's not really legit. We couldn't sustain any drives, man. The defense was out there in the first quarter, like 90% of the first quarter. Our offense had the ball like 10% of the first. So like right away, our defense is already gassed from the beginning of the game. You know how much more difficult it is to play without getting rest, bro? Like, dang, like, and the defense has the disadvantage because the offense knows what's gonna happen on the play. The defense has to attack, see, so and defend. So the advantage on stamina is on the offense's hands, because the offense can get tired, of course, too, if they stay on too long, but they know what they're gonna run. we had to guess and we had to guard, defend. So like it's different for a defense. That's why they make a big deal when they say time of possession usually wins football games, because the defense is out there longer. So the 49ers won that today by a long shot, bro. By a long shot. And let me just say it right now. Usually I wait to the end, but time of possession was 37 minutes for them and 23 minutes for us. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. There was a game that we had the ball less and we still won the game, but that was just like I had said, a kooky stat game where it's just what do you call it? Game script. It's just game script came down like that. It's just like, but it's like a one-off. You don't really, that doesn't really happen. It's not common when you have less time of possession and you still win the game. Usually. So time of possession wins games, guys, for the most part. And 49ers just had all of it. It's kind of low-key embarrassing, man, the way we just went out there and stunk it up. We already knew it was a tough environment. We've gone out there. We went out there last year. The year before we faced them too. But so that it shouldn't be a surprise, the environment that it's going to be, that you're going to go into. That shouldn't be a surprise. So the fact that we look so lost out there, the fact that we just got punched in the jaw by a superiorly better squad, we have too much talent on offense for this to be happening to us. We have too much talent on defense for this to be happening to us. Even with Diggs out, we still had all our guys, okay? And this shouldn't have happened the way it did. We just weren't ready. It speaks to coaching. It speaks to leadership. We do not have a leader on our team, man. It's definitely not Dak Prescott. D Law is sort of a leader. But I don't know. D Law is just like, it's hard to follow someone when they're not out there making every play. D Law makes a big play here and there. Okay, but it's different than just you're that guy. It's different than being that guy. Like when you're Trayvon Diggs, when you're Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a bit of a leader, but he's still young and still learning, of course. And he's a beast. It's just he's not that he's not like a Ray Lewis type leader. He's more like a mystique guy. Like, man, he's so good. He doesn't really have to talk, and he doesn't really. He voices himself a lot. It's not the same as having a Trayvon Diggs, bro. Like lead that defense, just going out there, making plays, being a ball hawk, and that makes people follow you more. You know what I mean? It's just a difference, man. So we're seeing a lack of leadership. We're seeing a lack of coaching once again with Mike McCarthy. I just never have. I didn't like him since the moment he stepped. I'm not gonna lie, since the moment he stepped in our office. But, he's been decent at calling the offense. But we're seeing it could get stagnant when they get disrupted. So what's the backup plan? We saw right out the half, we scored a touchdown almost immediately. Well, not it was like 7 minutes into 7 minutes left in the second quarter. That was in the second quarter, my bad. I'm talking about when we came out of halftime and we moved the ball really fast, right? We had a great drive there, and like it just gets stagnant, man, when it gets disrupted, and we just had no answer. We have to, if someone disrupts your offense, man, and your game plan, you got to change it up, man. You got to have a backup. It didn't seem that we had a backup. We just played straightforward football with our offense. Just this is our game plan. We're gonna stick to it. We didn't have a backup. We didn't switch it up. We didn't. Hey, let's go into halftime and talk it out. We're gonna do something different when we come out of halftime. No, we just did the same thing. You know what I mean? Like we tried to attack the same way, and that doesn't work, man. That just speaks to coaching, man. That speaks to coaching. But that's what I did want to say. And, of course, about Dak Prescott, just there's no excuse at this point, bro. You're loaded on offense. You have your line back or had Biotish. It seems that he got injured. I'm not sure if he came back in the game or not. But you had your guys back on the offensive line. You had everybody there, bro. It seems that we're missing a power back. We are missing a power back. That is something that we need to add. Maybe even a linebacker. Now that LVE is going to be, we can't just depend on that thin linebacking corpse. We can't do that. We're going to have to go get a linebacker. We have to get a power back, guys. I don't know who. Call Adrian Peterson out of retirement. I don't know, man. We got to get a power back in the house here soon. Who knows if, the Patriots doesn't seem that they're going anywhere fast. So who knows if we go get Zeke back? I don't know. I had joked about we don't want him back when we played him, but any sort of power back can help us, man. Any power back that's gonna get yards when we need them. Just be that kind of punch in the jaw that we need. That battering ram that we need out there. I don't know if Lipsky can turn into that, but we need something like that, man. It's a big difference when you have that guy that can just go out there and lay the wood, bro. You know what I mean? Pause. But yeah, let's get into the key plays. Even though I'm not too happy with this game. I don't really want to do this, to be honest. I don't want to go through the key plays because we saw that we stunk it up out there. You know what I mean? But I still was taking notes the whole game up until the end, of course, because there wasn't much to talk about in the fourth quarter, if anything, in the second half. But so let me just run through this quickly, okay? Let me just get on with this because I said most of what I needed to say already. So let's go ahead and go into the first play of the game. Right away, Donovan Wilson, bro, with the face mask, gives him an automatic 15 yards. You cannot do that, bro. This is a much anticipated opponent, much anticipated game. You cannot just go out there and grab a face mask right at the beginning of the game, man. What's going on? Like, why? Why, bro? Why? You're trained to tackle so many times during the week in practice and in the off season. And then you get into the game and grab a face mask at the very first play of the game. At least be winning when you want to do that. That way you can, impose yourself a little more. But at the beginning of the game, man, take it easy. You don't need to be grabbing a face mask on the first play of the game. You give them an automatic 15 yards and they went off and scored a touchdown a couple plays later, bro. With 11 minutes left, they already had a touchdown. So yeah, then Micah Parsons gets offsides. Big play there, and then it gave him a couple yards. The face mask came with like 14 minutes in the first quarter. The offsides by Parsons a couple minutes later, approximately 12 minutes in the first quarter. And then Purdy to Kittle, with 11 minutes into the first quarter. 11 minutes in the first quarter. So, yeah, they score a touchdown to 7-0 at that point. And then we get a penalty on the extra point, by the way. That's enforced on the kickoff. So even then, we already had 3 penalties in the first few 4 minutes of the game. You know what I mean? 3 penalties in the first 4 minutes of the game, bro. Think about that. It's like a penalty a minute so far. You know what I mean? So then, um, 10 minutes left in the first quarter. Dak overshoots Schoonmaker badly on second down. We had a little 2-yard run or whatever by Pollard in the first play of the game, or 1-yard run, whatever it was. And on like 2nd and 9, Dak wants to overshoot Schoonmaker. He was wide open, bro. Those are the kind of throws that you got to make at the beginning of the game. Easy throws. He didn't have pressure on him. Schoonmaker was open, and he's a big target. Okay, he stretched out there. He looked like Dwight Clark going to make the catch, but except, it wasn't Joe Montana throwing the ball, so it was Dak. So he overshoots him, man. It's like that's just a precursor. You know what I mean, to what's about to happen down the stretch. So yeah, I put down those type of throws you got to make no pressure, bro. It had no pressure on him. It was a pretty clear pocket. And then Hankins gets hands up on 3rd and 2, makes big stop on a man-to-man play. This was just man-to-man across the board. LVE had CMC. It looked like man-to-man, and, Purdy got it out quick and tried to get it to CMC, and this dude Hankins knocked down like 2 balls in the first quarter. He gets his hands up and knocked that down. It was a big play at the very beginning of the game, and that was awesome. But then that was 8 minutes in the first quarter. 7 minutes in the first quarter, Dak on 3rd and short doesn't even get the ball away. The pressure came from the right side, from his right side. Excuse me. And he never saw it, bro. He never saw it. And Bosa gets a sack. But he it's not even from his blind side, man. It's not from his blind side. That's 1. 2, it looked like to me, he had Pollard open right away to the right. If he looked that way, and we would have just gotten the first down. It was 3rd and 2. You need to get the ball out within 2 seconds. You know it because the blitz is coming. You know it. Even if it's not a blitz, they're coming for you, bro. It's 3rd and 2. You know what I mean? They're rushing. So you got to get the ball out quick. We didn't, and we got sacked in 3 seconds. Like, what is Dak reading out there? Like, when you look at the comparison between Dak and Purdy, we have almost the equal squads talent-wise. It's just the physicalness of the 49ers and also the discipline of the quarterback to just know what he's going to go with. He just knows how to read the defenses, bro. He just knows how to read the defenses. Dak does not. Dak is the opposite of Purdy. I would say Cooper Rush is closer to what Purdy is. He's more of I'm going to get the ball out. I know how the offense ticks. I know how to read the defense. I'm going to get it out to where it needs to go. Not worry about anything else. That's how Purdy is. If you look the way Purdy spread the ball out, nobody had 6 catches. Nobody had 7, 8 catches. It's all just spread out because he's just looking to get the ball out, and he's taking what the defense gives him. That's big, bro. That's the type of quarterback we need. We don't need a Dak Prescott that's looking who knows where for who knows what and not running the offense right, bro. We need to just get the ball out. It's the West Coast offense. We need to get the ball out in 2 seconds. Dak is trying to hold it for some reason. Sometimes when let's just say the defense is going to take away your first read. Let's just say they're going to take away your first read. You need to recognize that they're going to take away that first read already. So move on to the next read already, or move on to the read that they're not going to take away. Even if it's your 4th read, if you think that's going to be that's what Purdy does, bro. If you think that's going to be the 4th read is going to be the the first read on this play, do it. You know what I mean? Dak isn't trusting his knowledge, or unless he doesn't have the knowledge, he's not trusting it. And you can tell, man. You can definitely tell that he is not. Because he's just out there looking like a deer in headlights, man. When he faces any sort of good squad, he looks lost out there. He makes bad decisions. He stagnates. Is that even a word? He stagnates in the beginning of the game, then tries to catch up at the end of the game when the defense is playing soft and stuff like that. Then that's why he padded his stats his first few seasons, because that's what he would do. He would fall behind early, then he would try to come back, and he was fine when he was trying to come back because the defense was giving him everything. But at the beginning of the game, when they were clinching, when they were playing tight, he couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? And that seems to be the problem. And he's not even getting those trash yards at the end of the game anymore. It seems that he's just completely gone away from. I mean, it's not the same offense. Now it's a different type of offense. So it doesn't seem that this offense suits Dak at all. As far as, because I mean, like the other games, he was efficient and he was just getting the ball out and stuff like that. But when we face a good squad, that's when Dak needs to play on another level. He needs to really up his game, and he doesn't have that. He can't up his game because he's already there. You know what I mean? He's already doing the most he can. To me, it's becoming more obvious that Dak is not our future quarterback, bro. I wrote down at the end of the first half, Dak is playing for his career in this game. And I didn't want to overblow that, right? I didn't want to overblow that, but it's true. This is one of the games that he's playing for his career. With us going forward. So if he doesn't show up to this, if he doesn't show up, let's just say for the Eagles games, he ain't gonna be with us anymore, bro. He's playing for his career. This is one of the games where he was playing for his career. Honestly, we've seen enough. We know that we want a championship here soon, and Dak is not gonna deliver that to us if he's playing like this, like garbage, complete garbage. There's no excuse for this, man. No excuse. So we have to take a long Dak. I mean, that's what gets on my nerves about Dak. He does such great interviews. He does such great interviews, and you're like, oh, okay, he understands now. He understands that he needs to get better. But then he goes out there and does this. So he understands he needs to get better. He's just at his ceiling, bro. He's at his ceiling. He can't get much better. It's just the way he could get better is by making better decisions, getting the ball out. Okay? Studying a little more. It doesn't seem that Dak is a study monster, bro. It doesn't seem that Dak is a study monster. It honestly doesn't. Purdy, you can tell. You see? There's a difference. You can tell that Purdy's a study monster. He would not be able to run this offense this way, that offense this way, if he wasn't a study monster, bro. He wouldn't. If he wasn't looking at game film so much, if he wasn't you can tell, bro. That guy's on another level. I wish we had a quarterback like that. If a quarterback like Purdy, let's just say that, if a quarterback like Purdy was on our squad, we would be great. We'll be winning every game. We would be basically the 49ers because they can sustain drives and keep their defense off the field and fresh. They're doing that. If we did that, our defense would look like the number one defense in the NFL, which it is talent-wise. But we are not today. We weren't today because we were not sustaining drives. We were not keeping them fresh. The 49ers were keeping their defense fresh. So you saw the way, I mean, could you imagine Warner? Could you imagine Warner and green light, whatever, what's the name, Greenway? Greenway, their other linebacker. Could you imagine them tired, dog tired, and trying to play out there? We would be running on them. We would be throwing on them. We would be just the way they're doing to us, bro. We're tired. And look, LVE got injured because he's just running all over the field, so tired. And then he gets pushed from the back. He has no strength. He's tired. So he gets pushed from the back and runs into his own man and he gets hurt. That's how injuries happen, guys, when we're just getting tired out there. Usually that's how injuries happen, when your body is fatigued. Your body is taking a pounding. Pause. You know? Like, man, I wish we had a Brock Purdy type quarterback that can be that. But he needs to study more, man. I don't think he's studying more. And if he is studying a lot and doing this on the field, then he's not the quarterback for us, or this ain't the right system for him. He needs to find a better system. Mike McCarthy needs to think of something, because this system, we're not going to beat the great teams. If we're out there going and beating the Giants and the Jets and those teams, great. Okay, so what? But what about when the 49ers come into town? What about when the Eagles come into town? What about when even the Commanders come into town? What about when we have to, face the Chiefs? What about when we have to face the Ravens? What about, and I'm talking about in the coming seasons, I'm talking about in the playoffs, I'm talking about Super Bowl. What happens, We're not going to even make it to the Super Bowl past the NFC teams if Dak is playing whack. Like, you can't, bro. You can't do that. So Dak needs to do a lot of soul searching. A lot of soul searching, bro. He needs to get right. He needs to go meditate somewhere. He needs meditate under a bonsai tree, bro. Get enlightened. Find enlightenment. Join Buddha. I don't know, man. He needs to do something, because this ain't gonna work. So then so we go into Dak, third and short. Yep. Doesn't get the ball off. Bosa sack. That was 7 minutes in the first quarter. And I just went off on a little tangent right there. So 4 minutes left. 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. My bad. I put, I was mad when I was cursing on my notes. I put dumbass play by curse. Y'all saw that curse offsides on a play that we stopped, and we held them to a punt, essentially, or essentially could have been a punt. And curse was just offsides, had nothing to do with the play success. That's what gets on my nerves, when it's a penalty on the other side of the field that didn't matter with the play, or when it's a part of the play that didn't matter at all. Because if he was just a yard back, which I don't know how, this was one of the losing plays of the game. From here, everything went downhill. From here, this is why I like to do key plays, because it breaks down the game, how it could have gone if we did not mess up. Or even when we win, it still breaks down the game, what we could have done better. You know what I mean? And in this case, plays like this by Curse. Curse has had a couple bonehead plays now the past couple weeks. Okay? Even though he did have a couple good plays, but he's had bonehead plays. There's a difference. Okay? You can do good plays all you want, but bonehead plays, That's that's troubling. That's our essentially our starting safety, right? Going out there and making plays like that, man. How are you offsides? Pre-snap. I'm not talking about he jumped. He was already offsides. He was lined up offsides. As someone who's covering, he was covering Kittle, so a receiver slash tight end. You know, Kittle was up. He wasn't on the line, so he's covering Kittle. How do you get offsides? I don't understand. As a defender, bro, you look down, you see the ball, and you know where to line up. How do you get offsides you can do that in a high school game. You can do that in a middle school game. You can do that in an elementary game. Flag football if you want it. But in a NFL game on prime time, Sunday night football, you want to line up offsides, bro, on a big there's no way to describe how big of a play this was at the very beginning of the game, just for momentum wise. I've talked about so many times. Momentum plays at the beginning of at the beginning of the game usually create positive energy for you to withstand the rest of the game. This was one of them plays. Negative energy, negative play, negative energy, bonehead play, negative energy. There's just no excuse for that, man. There's no excuse for that. And I like to see a player be like mad when that happens, and he was mad. He was like, man, you know, he you know, but why are you offsides? You could literally line up a 10-year-old on the and be like, look, you can't cross the ball where the ball is lined up. You can't cross that to the other side. You have to be on the other side, opposite side of the ball. And they'll just be like, okay, easy. But yet, a grown ass man. I wrote down losing play for that. That's a losing play, guys. That's a losing play. You can't do that. That was a big that was a bigger play than what it looked like, I guess, what it seemed like at the moment. Cause we stopped them. Think about it. We were about to get the ball back. That's another extra possession. From there, who knows how the ball game can go. Pollard, see, look, this is what I mean. Okay, I'm about to show you. Okay, this is what I mean. Dak doesn't get the ball off on 3rd and short, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, whatever it was. He got sacked. Bad losing play. Curse, offsides, lines up offsides on 3rd and whatever it was, 3rd and short, 3rd and I don't know, 3rd and whatever it was. I forgot what it was, but he lined up offsides. Still, then big stop by Micah on 3rd and long because they ended up getting a penalty and moved them back 5 yards, and then we ended up stopping them anyways. Okay, but keep in mind they could have already been off the field. The defense could have been resting. Our offense could have been on the field doing some work, putting in some work. So that little possessions right there changed the whole ball game, guys. They did. Big stop by Micah on 3rd and long to keep them out of field goal range. That was on. They tried to do a draw or something like that to CMC, I think it was, and then Micah was there in the backfield and just met him, and that got him out of field goal range for sure. They were trying to get into field goal range to at least kick a field goal by doing that play, but we had a great stop right there by Micah. Okay, so we knocked them out of field goal range. So all of this, we could have already had our offense on the field. Keep in mind. So then we end up getting the ball in, pinned deep in our territory, in our own territory. So then Pollard fumbles the ball. You remember that play? Yeah. He had a good play. broke out to the side and was about to get out of bounds. And Warner comes and just punches the ball out. Easy. It's the easiest punch out I've ever seen, and hardest too. But easiest punch out I've ever seen. As soon as he punched the ball just scored it right out. And he did a bit. He made Peanut Tillman blush. You know what I mean? Like, man, all of that as a result of us not getting the offense back on the field earlier, which would have created positive momentum because we didn't make a bonehead play. That's not in our psyche. That's not in our mind, right? So now we're like up on them, right? We don't have to make that Micah 3rd and long stop. The drive would have been over already. We would have had the ball back. It's just things like that go into winning ball games that we didn't do in this game. So therefore, Pollard goes and tries to do too much and fumbles the ball. That play would have never happened had we gotten the ball back earlier. Keep that in mind. I'm trying to say that's why I like doing key plays, man. So if you F with me, like, comment, subscribe. Okay, this is how I break down games, and it makes me feel better. It makes me feel better to voice this. You know what I mean? It's like Cowboys fan therapy. I should change the name of this DBFT to Cowboys fan therapy, CFT. You would assume that would be Cowboys fan talk, but no. Cowboys fan therapy, man. Sometimes we need it, okay? So whoever wants to join Cowboys fan therapy, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, I'm here for y'all. So that was with 1 minute left in the first quarter. Second quarter comes and it's 7-0. Yeah. So Dak. Dak got sacked again. Dak not stepping up to the moment and being outplayed by Brock Purdy is what I wrote down. After he got sacked again, and we had to punt again. Didn't get rid of the ball, man. Got to get rid of the ball somehow, some way. You just gotta get the ball out. You always have to have a heart read, right? A hot read, right? You get the ball out faster. You always gotta have that. Just get the ball out. It's the 49ers. It ain't the Power Puffs out there. It's the GD 49ers. Man, like, come on. Jesus. We're playing like high school kids out there, and it's not to shame high school. They play hard, but not on an NFL level. That's all I'm saying, bro. Man. 14 minutes in the second quarter. Dak gets sacked. Then, the 49ers did a nice little flea flicker because they're a football team that knows how to run plays. And they score with 13 minutes in the second quarter. 14-0. Okay? Some Cowboys stopped on the play. I wrote that down because I saw that. Including O'Diggity. I don't know what he was seeing. I don't know why he stopped. The football was right in front of him. But when the quarterback, when the ball got pitched back to the quarterback, he kind of like stared, and then he ran. Why are you not just running, bro? He would have gotten there on time. You know what I mean? Like, it's plays like that, man. And then we give up the touchdown. Going back, a couple plays back when we could have stopped them when we got the offsides on a dumb play by Curse. This is all collateral damage, man. So 14-0. Then we have the nice little play with 7 minutes. It took us a few minutes to score after they scored. But we had a nice little drive, okay? And then we got the TD to Turpin. So Turpin got to Turpin. And he has some nice little toe drag swag on that. I liked it. 14-7. We were right back in the game, it seemed, right? But not quite. we had good rhythm on that drive. That's what I did want to say. So we did put together a nice little drive right there, a nice little answer. Okay, that was big. But then, great stop on 3rd and 4, and then they call a BS helmet to helmet. And I wrote down BS helmet to helmet just because they had done it to CD a couple plays earlier in the game, when he was going down. He was already going down, and they came in and smacked his. It was like a shoulder to his head, and CD didn't say anything. He just got. He's tough. He just got up and whatever. But if you go back and look at that, that was, you know why they do that. It's a dirty play. Okay, they're attacking the head. They know why they're doing that. And 3rd and 4, we stopped them, and then we get a BS call on the CMC play. You know, that was Donovan Wilson, I believe, that did that. And they called it on Curse somehow. I'm not sure, but they did call Curse for taunting. But they counted both penalties on Curse, so one of them should have been Wilson, one of them should have been Curse. But either way, Curse got the penalty on that. But it should have been Wilson, I believe. And that was just a BS call, man. I know that that's what they want to focus on. You know, the NFL does. But you got to let that go, man. That was a big stop. We just scored a touchdown to match the momentum. We stopped them on 3rd down. That was also a huge play in the game. So I'll write down a star over here with the offsides play. A big star. I'll put a big star right there. And then also on that play, on 3rd and 4, we stopped them, and then that was just 2 huge plays, man. That result in they're losing plays. Even though we had stopped them, and that had nothing to do with our stop. Once again, the helmet to helmet had nothing to do with our stop. It was just a added sauce on the play. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't need to do that. We could have held back and not done that because it was already it was a bad, I wouldn't say a bad throw. It was just covered. So you didn't have to go and hit him on the head, even though we did. But just in that, like, the referees got to let that go, man. They've been doing it to us. So just let it go on that play at least. It's a big play to call a penalty on us, you know? We're going to get the ball back. It's just heartbreaking, but that from there they didn't look back, bro. That was a big play. So yeah, 21-7, CMC scores. A couple plays later with 2 minutes left in before halftime. So Dak gets Cooks on Fred Warner down the field. He sees it and smartly throws Cooks the ball. Cooks catches it. Cooks catches it. But Dak, once again, I think he was trying to pass it to a cheerleader. I'm not sure, on the sideline there. But doesn't even give Cooks a chance. Unless the chance was, you know, he catches it out of bounds and comes back in bounds and it counts. I don't know, man. And that was great. I mean, he had a little pressure on the play, but it did cause him to roll out to the left. And he was able to launch it without getting hit. He launched it. And it was a great looking throw. But once it got there, it was just out of bounds. If he would have put that, at least thrown it a little earlier, or if he would have put a little more sauce on it and let it a little more to the right side, that's almost a touchdown. You know? So another big play right there that could have done something for us before halftime. We could have scored, and it would have been 21-7, 21-14, and we would have been heading into halftime, about to receive the ball back. and then going to tie the game, possibly. So all of that I just broke down, man, this is why I love doing key plays. And there we go. They gave up on the drive after that because Dak ended up getting sacked again. They gave up on the drive with like 30 seconds left, 2 timeouts. You could still possibly go get a field goal before halftime. But we just gave up. We just took the sack and let the clock run out. That says a lot. That says a lot. You don't have the quarterback, bro. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot. Do you remember when I came in here a couple weeks back when we played our other loss, the Arizona Cardinals, and with like a minute left in before halftime, Arizona had the ball with the lead and still told Josh Dobbs to lead us down the field to try to get a score before halftime? Even with the lead, they did that with a backup quarterback, and we can't do it with our starting quarterback with 2 timeouts left. So that's enough for 2 to 3, 30 seconds, 2 timeouts. That's enough for like 3 plays, at least 4, maybe 4. Like, depending on whether you get out of bounds on time or not, you know, it could be up to 4 plays, maybe even 5. Never know. Some plays take like 4 seconds when you pass it and they get out of bounds really fast. They take like 4 seconds. That could be a few plays, and we just ate it. We just ate it. We just ate it. Can you believe that? Like, that says a lot. That's something that we need to look at and be like, that's alarming, bro. Honestly, it is. I understand they had all the momentum. I understand that we didn't want to mess up before halftime. But, I mean, if you had Tom Brady, you ain't going to run out that clock. Tom Brady has 30 seconds to work. That's more than enough time. If that's Patrick Mahomes, you ain't going to run out the clock. If that's Joe Burrow, you ain't going to run out the clock. If that's Josh Dobbs, you ain't going to run out the clock. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm about to wrap this up right here. Because, yeah, man, that was just... I've said enough. I've said enough. Third quarter, okay? They get a field goal, 21-10. Or did we get it? We got a field goal. Great drive out of the half. Yeah, we got a field goal. 21-10, made it 21-10. With 12 minutes in the third quarter. Great drive out of the half. It was nice. But then we stagnate. If that's even a word, I don't even know that. But we get stagnant. Then we kick a field goal. So, I mean, it was a nice field goal, though. You know, Aubrey might win our MVP of the season if things keep going this way. So, yeah. We allow a 3rd and long, losing play. Nice throw by Purdy. Put it right on the money. Right down the middle. The way that Dak should be throwing the ball, Mr. Irrelevant, literally the last pick in the draft, is doing what Dak should be doing. That's with equal or the same amount of talent. Equal or more. Equal or less amount of talent. That's what I meant to say. I'm messed up from this game, man. Yeah. So not good. So then they get we allow 3rd and long. I called that a losing play. Then 2 minutes later after that, they get a TD, 28-10. Kittle. Wilson didn't even know the ball was thrown. That's what I wrote down. You saw Wilson like looking around after Kittle caught the touchdown. He didn't even know the ball was thrown. That's alarming. You know, bad coverage overall. I don't know what our guys are doing out there. I don't know what our team is doing out there. I don't know who's leading this team. We need a leader. We could have gotten Gregory back, but guess what? The 49ers got him. He could have helped lead us a little bit. You know, he's But he's gonna go out there and he's more silent, right? A silent leader, but he would go out there and help us for sure. Um, yeah. Uh, After that, I wrote down, Wilson didn't even know the ball was thrown. Then I put, it's a perfect scheme offense and with a perfect quarterback for the scheme. That's what's going on with the 49ers. It's kind of like Nick Foles when Nick Foles was a backup quarterback. Of course, we all know that. And till this day, I don't even know if he's still in the league. But he went and won the Super Bowl in the playoffs. The whole playoffs, he was a starter. And he won every game, made every throw, won every game. I think he went like 5 touchdowns with 0 picks throughout the playoffs. Something like that. Or more. I'm not sure, but he did really good and went off to win the Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles did that. So that was the system. It was a very effective system by the Eagles at that time. That is looking a lot like what Purdy is doing with the Niners. That's what it reminds me of. It's just so efficient, so on point, and if you run it right, you see what can happen. Opposite of Dak. Opposite of Dak. Okay. Um. Yeah. 6 minutes in the third quarter. Dak throws pick way off. He throws an INT, another one. He had 3 picks in this game. 3 INTs. He threw 3 INTs. It was way off, and he just smiled. What more can you do but smile? I mean, you lost the game after you said, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for the moment. Oh yeah, I know I got to do better," but then you do worse. 14 of 24 for 153 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks is what Dak's stat line looked like for this game. But yeah, we go into the fourth quarter. After that, use check. We always fall for that play action, leave the fullback, tight end wide open. We always do that. No surprise there. 28-10. Wait, no, 35-10 with 14 minutes in the fourth quarter. 14 minutes, we get the ball back, and then Dak throws another pick, which in the whole, I believe that Dak should have been out of the game definitely in the fourth quarter. He shouldn't have been in the game. Remember, he did injure his finger, his throwing hand. He had an injured finger on there, so we don't know how bad that is. I am talking all this noise, but then again, he didn't get that till the second half, so keep that in mind. He didn't get that injured finger till the second half. So, no excuses. I don't want to hear anything. He shouldn't have been out there in the fourth quarter, for real. He shouldn't have. He just give it a Cooper Rush and see what he can do out there. Bring in a different energy, bring in a whole different, vibe, and let him do whatever he can to try to bring us back. That's what we should have done. But yeah, we leave Dak out there. He throws a pick almost right away after they score. And so then we allow, on the first play, we allow a huge run. Micah and LVE get hurt on that play. They run into each other. Williams pushed LVE in the back into Micah Parsons. And LVE injured his neck. And hopefully he's good. We don't want LVE to get injured, for sure. But that's 42-10. With 12 minutes in the fourth quarter, Dak threw another pick. Those were 3 picks, okay? That was his third pick. So all 3 picks were within the last few minutes of the game. One coming with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. But that wraps up this ball game. Let's go on to the player stats. Dak was 14 of 24, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. Pollard was 8 carries, 29 yards, 3.6 a carry. Lamb had 4 catches, 49 yards, 12.2 a snatch. But let's go on to the great stats. Brock Purdy, 17 of 24, 253 yards, 4 touchdowns. Mason, the running back, 10 carries, 69 yards, 6.9 a carry, 1 touchdown. He did great. I mean, you know. CMC, you could say we stopped him. You know, he didn't do that great, but so what? CMC had 19 carries for 50 yards, 2.6 a carry, not good at all. 1 touchdown. So we stopped CMC. That's for sure. That's for sure. Kittle, 3 catches, and this is what I mean by no one had over 5 grabs, bro. Kittle, 3 catches. Ayuk, 4 catches. Debo, 3 catches. And Juszczyk, 4 catches. Kittle had 63 yards, 3 touchdowns. 67 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ayuk had 58 yards, 14.5 a grab. Debo had 56 yards, 18.7 a grab. Juszczyk had 26 yards, 6.5 a grab. So those are the player stats. And as you can see, that's what I mean by Purdy ain't looking to give anyone 10 catches. He ain't looking to give anyone, he doesn't care as long as they win, bro. And that's the type of quarterback we need. Don't listen to, back then, Des Bryant. I need the ball. I need the ball. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to maybe Wooden whispering in your, hey, I'm open, which I don't think Wooden really ever did. But don't listen to, Lamb telling you right now. Don't listen to whoever telling you right now. It doesn't matter. We need to get the ball to the open player. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, we need to stop worrying about that. I don't know if that's part of Dak's mindset to get the ball to CD, to get the ball to CD. So I don't know if that's part of his mindset, but it shouldn't be. It should be more so, I need to get this ball out to the open player according to what the defense is running, and I'm gonna take what the defense is giving me. That's how this offense is going to be successful. If not, you are going to keep seeing what we just saw against the Niners, against other great teams, which is what counts. So that is my breakdown for this game. Let me just go through the team stats. I think I've said enough in this video. It shouldn't have even been this long, to be honest. But I did let out a lot of frustration. And I said it how it is, and what I said is just correct, bro. It's just like on point. What needs to happen needs to happen. Dak needs to get on point, or he ain't gonna be here in the future. This team is, loaded with talent, man. It's just the right scheme or the right quarterback is not matching up right now, and that's what we need to do. And I'm talking about, yeah, it worked. We were 3-1 coming into this game. It worked, right? But those 3 teams that we beat were not great. Okay, so we can beat the all right teams. All right, that's fine. We can beat up on them. 40-0, 30-10, 38-3. You know what I mean? We could do that. But when it comes to playing the great teams, it's when it counts. Okay, so if Dak is doing that against the lighter opponents, featherweights, that's fine. That's cool. But do it against the heavyweights. You know what I mean? That's what we got to do. So team stats is going to be painful to recite, but here it goes. Okay. Total yards. Cowboys, 197 yards. Total yards. We didn't even get 200 total yards for this game. That is embarrassing. The 49ers have 421. That is extra embarrassing. At least if they had 300 yards. Okay. All right. But they had 421 yards, total yards. Passing, we had 140 yards passing, which is not terrible if we win. Okay. Because I believe Purdy had 140 something a couple games ago or something like that. And they won. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're undefeated. They're now 4 and 0. 5 and 0. 5 and 0. We're 3 and 2. Um, so passing yards, 140. They had 251. Rushing yards, we had 57. They had 170. Yards per play, we had 4.0. They had 6.3. First downs, which is another key stat that you want to, have on your side. First downs, we had 8. They had 26. That's the ball game right there, guys. That's along with time of possession. That's the ball game. That's showing that you're moving the sticks, and you're not effing around out there. Okay. So next stat. Third down efficiency. We're 4 of 11. They were 6 of 11. Not much of a difference there, but those little 2 extra ones make a difference. And it did in this. I broke it down. It played a huge difference. Fourth down efficiency, we were 0 for 1. They were 0 for 1. They went for it at the very last play of their, to just try to run out the clock. That's it. But other than that, they didn't need to go for it on fourth down. And by the way, we didn't even know how to end the game right. I wanted to open up with that, by the way. I didn't. Damn. But we didn't even know how to end the game right. We kneeled it on fourth down. Everybody and their mama knows you cannot kneel the ball on fourth down. I just thought of that. I just remembered that right now. That was the last play of the game. Well, for us. Cooper Rush took a knee on fourth down. Think about that. If the coach is seeing him go for a knee on fourth down, unless it was intentional, unless they just said, you know what, just take a knee, give them the ball back. But I don't think that was the case. That's extra embarrassing, man. That's just extra embarrassing. Anyways, yeah. Total plays. We had 49. They had 67. That makes a difference too. Sacks allowed. We only allowed 4 sacks. It wasn't crazy. Nothing crazy. And they only allowed 1. We had 5 punts. They had 4. But, we did turn over the ball. Penalties and yards. We had 6 for 60 yards. They had 6 for 45 yards. That makes a little difference too. But, our penalties weren't bad. We didn't get so many penalties, but it was when it counted. It was when we got the penalties that made it worse. And I recited it earlier here. So, you can't do that, man. Fumbles lost. We lost one. Big one. And they lost one, the CMC fumble, which was a nice play by Jordan Lewis, which got banged up in this game as well. Hopefully he's good. Interceptions thrown, we threw 3. They threw 0 because Purdy is just pretty damn good. Time of possession, we had 22 minutes and 55 seconds. They had 37 minutes and 5 seconds. And that does it for this episode of my podcast, DBFT. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys. I let out all my frustration here. And hopefully it doesn't fall upon deaf ears, Hopefully y'all respect what I said. Hopefully y'all agree with what I said. If y'all don't agree, if y'all disagree, if y'all agree, whatever, leave it in the comments. Type down if I was right. Type down if I was too harsh. Type whatever. But until next time, who is our next opponent. I did not write it down. I usually do, and I usually give a little bit about them and blah blah blah. But I didn't sort of feel like it today. For obvious reasons. But let me just go into our next opponent here. Our next opponent is next week, Monday night, October 16th. Monday Night Football against the Chargers in San Diego, in what are they, Las Vegas, whatever the Chargers are nowadays, LA Chargers, I think it is. But we will be in the Chargers Coliseum, okay, Monday night. So seems that we have an extra day rest, we have 11 days. I was gonna say 11 days. I don't know how to do math. 8 days. So that's good because we're banged up. Hopefully we get healthy. And until next time, my name is like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully y'all join me, man. Hopefully y'all join me, and we'll be together for the rest of the season and for years to come. So if y'all like this, like, comment, subscribe. I will say, if you leave down in the comments, I stay to the end of the video, I will cash app you $50. Okay? So do that. I stay to the end. You have to write that down in the comments. I will cash app you. I will get in touch with you somehow and cash app you $50. Okay? Offer expires next week when the next game starts. When the next week starts. Okay? So, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you. My name is Like. See you next time, guys. I'm out.